Hello and good evening and welcome to Back to School Night. We're excited to have you. Thank you for watching our little video. This is for the parents of freshmen or ninth grade students. We want to welcome you to Sunnyside, and we just wanted to share a little bit of information to help you and your student make the next 4 years successful. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing we'd like to do is just to introduce ourselves. These are the counselors for your students, and we just really want you to know who we are so that if you do have questions or you need anything, you know who to contact and who to email or call. So in the Harvard office is Mrs. Thompson. So she is the counselor for any students with the last names A through F. She also is the counselor for the ninth grade AVID students. Myself, I am Ms. Cooper, and I am in the Yale office, and I am the counselor for any student with last names G through L. I also am a counselor for the Video Production Academy students. Then over in the Stanford office, we have Mr. Edis, and he is the counselor for anyone with the last name M through R, and also the ninth grade Doctors Academy students. And then last, but certainly not least, is Mr. Lee, who is the counselor for anyone with the last names S through Z, and he is also the ninth grade CBS counselor. So that's who we are. Please, again, like I said, if you do have questions or concerns about your student or have any questions about high school, please, please, please reach out to us. We want to help you. So we want to make sure that you understand how high school works, what your student needs to do in order to graduate and earn that diploma, because high school is very different from elementary school and from junior high. Your child has to earn credits now in high school to get that diploma. So to get a diploma, every student has to earn 230 credits. So your child will get 5 credits per class each semester. So at the end of this first semester at Christmas, your child should have at least 30 credits. By the end of the year in June, then your student should have earned 60 credits, 60, okay? And they need to keep doing that to stay on track so that by the end of their senior year in high school, they will have that 230 credits. But what do those 230 credits come from? Where do we get those credits? As you can see right here, we have a breakdown exactly where your student needs to earn those credits. So as you can see, they have to take 4 years of English, 3 years of history, government econ, US history, modern world history. They have to take 3 years or 30 credits of science, of biological science, physical science, and then a 3rd year of science. They must complete 3 years of math. They have to pass Algebra 1, geometry, and then some sort of 3rd year of math. They must pass 2 years of PE, 1 year of a foreign language or some sort of art class, and then the rest of their credits, 70 credits, comes from electives or other classes that they may choose to take. So for a typical ninth grader, they will have 6 classes, and this is what a schedule might look like. So every freshman is going to have an English class, a math class, science, PE, and then they were given 2 electives, which makes up their 6 classes. So that's the graduation requirements to get a diploma. The other thing that we pride ourselves on at Sunnyside is that we really do try and encourage and put every student in the position that when they are a senior, they have the chance to apply to a four-year university if they would like to do that. We really do believe that every student should have as many options as possible. So we don't want them to just only be able to do one thing once they graduate. We want them to be able to choose from 10 things or 50 things if they want. So every schedule we make, when we talk to your child, when we're encouraging them about their grades, we are keeping that in mind, that we want your student to have all of those options available to them. So if they would like that option to be able to apply to a four-year college, there are certain classes that they have to take in high school. And they're here on the screen. They're called the A to G requirements. And I'm going to tell you right now, the cool thing is that they really are not that different from what they already have to complete to earn their diploma. Okay, and we already went over all of those requirements. So I'm just going to point out the differences. So there are three big differences between these A to G requirements and the graduation requirements. The first comes in the area of math. So for the A to G, they need 3 years of math, but that third year needs to be Algebra 2. Okay, so they need to make sure that they have taken and passed up to Algebra 2. The other big difference is in the area of a foreign language. So to apply to a four-year university, your student will need to complete 2 years of a language other than English, okay? So at Sunnyside, we have Spanish, we have French, and we have Hmong. So your student would need to take one of those three languages and take 2 years. And then they need to take, in addition to that, 1 year of a visual or performing art. And then, of course, the last biggest difference would be in terms of their grades. They have to be earning C's or better in order to apply to a four-year college. And if I'm being real honest with you, your student is really going to need to try and earn mostly A's and B's, okay? Yes, C's are acceptable, but to be accepted and competitive when they're applying for college, we want to see mostly A's and B's. And then, of course, they will also need to take what's called the SAT or ACT college entrance exam. Okay, so those are the requirements to go to a four-year college. I kind of want to wrap up. The last two slides are just some tips or things to keep in mind for your student to be successful this year and on into the future, okay, here at Sunnyside. The biggest thing, how you as a parent can hold your student accountable and to be able to check in on them, would be to access Atlas. So Atlas is the computer program that tracks our students' grades, what their assignments are. It tells you their attendance. So you can be going in there every night if you want to look and see what your students' grades are, if they're missing any assignments, what assignments has the teacher even assigned. So you can see all of that in Atlas. And you have a login and a password as a parent, as does your student. So you can log in either way. You can have your student log in for you and then check it, or you can log in yourself with your unique login and password. You can also get a daily text sent to your phone that tells you what your students' grades are. So if you would like that opportunity, please call the school for more information on how to do that. And last but not least, here are some other things to keep in mind, especially this year as we are doing virtual school. I know that it is not ideal. We would, of course, rather be in person in a classroom. Unfortunately, that can't happen right now. And so here's some things to keep in mind to help your student be successful. Number one, we really are in school. Even though we're on a computer, it is school, and they have to be logged in, ready to go at 9 a.m. every day. And they need to be on time. Okay, they cannot miss. You need to be checking, like we said earlier, your atlas every day about your grades. Set up that edutext. And then a huge one that I cannot say more than is to stay organized. And you can help your student do this. Set up a system. Think of a plan. We have calendars. We call them agendas. They could pick one up from the library at school. It's a calendar where they can write down their assignments each day. They also need to write down and keep track of what platforms that each teacher is using. So some teachers are using what's called Microsoft Teams. Some teachers might be using what's called Google Classroom. Some teachers might be using Zoom meetings. So every teacher kind of has their own system, right, on how students are getting their assignments and turning them in. And so your student really needs to kind of keep track and write that down, okay, so they're not feeling confused and lost. The other thing I would say is that your student needs to think that school is from 9 until 2:15, okay? So in the morning, there is that one-on-one teacher time where your teacher is actually teaching till 12:30, and then your students get a lunch break. But after lunch, your students can log back into their classes from 1:15 to 2:15, and they really need to be doing that because this is where they're going to get help. They can ask clarifying questions. They can get one-on-one time with the teacher. And then if they need additional help beyond that 2:15 with their teacher, we have tutors available from 2:30 to 5:30. So your student can never tell you, there's no one to help me. No one answers my questions, because there are plenty of times for them to get extra help, to ask questions, and to figure out what they need to figure out. Okay? If you do have any questions or you need help, please, 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 like I said, email us, the counselor, and we will help you the best that we can. We hope you have a great rest of the year, and go Wildcats.